Okay, so we had to really restart because my mic kept like breaking. But now I have the last okay, yeah, see, like my mic works now. As I want to cover for today is I want to cover a potential weather like event that might happen. So I want to cover everything that I just said last time, both voice. Last rates, air getting cooler or hotter as it rises. Last rates 5,000 millibars, 18,000 feet to 700 millibars, I believe 9.5 thousand feet. Basically the same thing. Most unstable cape, it helps with elevated storms, like, if there's no surface base cape, then, storms will be more elevated as they rise up with more unstable cape. Surface base is what it implies, surface base energy, helping storms rise at the surface base. Surface-based sin is basically like, okay, this is going to be like a little complex topic because it inhibits storms, but at the same time, it can make them stronger. So let's see. We have this little pocket right here, 317 minus joules per kilogram of sin. So if we do like, practically, okay, let's say there's like a little pocket of, 500 SB cape under there. The longer it stays under there, the more that SB cape will rise and continue to like reach up. I feel like if like with 300 and like minus 17, it's gonna reach around the 1000 to 2000 area of SBK before it eventually breaks through. Surface based LCL height, free level condensation, I believe is what it is. It's basically like cloud level. Okay, so look. Right now we have 24. That's actually pretty low for clouds. So let's say like, okay, if there's a tornado within any of these areas, this little gray pockets is the highest chance of a tornado to form because they do not have to struggle to reach the ground, nor will they have trouble, touching the ground too. Surface level lifted index, I believe, is a parameter deprived to, I think it's like, okay, hold on. I need to think here. I think as air rises, it cools, so it results in I don't really know its height, but I'm just gonna assume it's like 500 millibars since that's where the upper troposphere is. So I believe it helps with rising air. That's all I have to say. Shear is what tilts. Okay. We're doing a quick recap here because the last stream, the mic didn't work, so now I'm here. It's not gonna be like too deep. Like I'm gonna make this very short, 15 minutes at max. Okay, so bulk shear is basically what helps tilt in the air. Okay, so think of it like this. You see a cool, pretty cloud, right? It's way up, it's flattening out at the top. That's cumulonimbus cloud. But if you see it rise, if it's rising up vertically, like straight up, it means there's like very low shear to help it tilt. But if you see it rise and tilting in the direction of the wind, that's how you know there is some bulk shear helping it do its tilt. Severe helicity. Okay, now this is also a cool fun fact. If you see 0 to 3 kilometers helicity in high amounts, you'll actually notice that the updraft tilts as it rises, like it tilts and it swirls as it goes up, instead of it being going up vertical without tilting. But then there's also a compensation where like this will help any SRH will help rise the clouds as it's just spin. It'll help it raise up higher without the cape doing most of the work if there's no cape. Or else it goes in hand like cape will rise it, but then there'll be no spin. There'll be spin rising, but the updraft will be very long, short-lived. I meant EHI, I believe, is a calculated parameter, meaning it is a multi-purpose. It adds everything together. So like yeah, it mostly adds everything together. If you click on anything that's above 1, you're more likely to get anything that says above severe or TOR, marginal TOR. So this says none, but it has a parameter. So looks like it has the sin there. Supercell composite is a parameter that predicts supercells, surface based. These are surface based supercells. It's pretty much like the golden standard to see where storms could reach its peak. SPK in 500 and 850 MB. I don't really understand this one because I never really took the time to learn it. But yeah, SB Cape photographs. This one's very like not accurate. The SB Cape is, but the photographs are not very accurate, which is why I prefer sounding analysis. Temperature and humidity also can contraband to what is it, severe weather. Temperature, high temps and high dew points will result in higher capes, higher like I believe low level, yeah, low level condensations. We have composite reflectivity, which is not accurate for GFS. The HRRR is also good. The HRRR has to be the best composite reflectivity out there. PWAD is just basically precipitable water, something, something. But like, if it's high amount, then it's gonna rain, and it's gonna be very soggy after that rain passes. Anything above 0.5 for me is significant because, of course, it raises humidity after rain passes. Mosquitoes will hatch more. We already talked about upper level winds, but you can see here during that day of severe weather. Okay, look, I have highlighted my own areas because the Storm Prediction Center has issued a day 4 risk. But as you can see here, if we go to ECMWF, we go to surface precipitation, we go temperature, we go to their date, which they highlighted for day 4, which is Saturday on the 28th. If we go to the 28th, you can see, like, look, Winnipeg's going to be way more hotter, which means there's probably going to be a high cap. But then for dew point, Brandon's going to be significantly cooler by a couple degrees. Look, if we go here, we can actually see that Brandon gets most of the dew points. So I have no doubt that this shift will. Okay, look. We go back 27th. They do have like a good, decent area of it. But then again, temperature does not always mean it. So I feel like they're going to keep it, but they're going to add a little like heads up display around this area, like this box. This box mostly for tornadoes or other severe weather, as it has a higher amount of cape in that area and other factors like bulk shear. So as you can see here for day 4, I've highlighted my area of risk. They're gonna shift. I am highly likely they're gonna shift. If not, they're gonna add a 30% for like an area like right. Okay, it's not gonna be that long. It's gonna be like a very, very small area of 30%. And then for day 5, this is more interesting as if we go here, where's it at? GFS. We go to EHI. EHI is like the gold standard if you want to like just like take an easy route. Well, look, we go to the 27th. EHI spikes during the day. Like, look at that. Look at all that SRH during the nighttime hours, 7 p.m. This looks like it's gonna be like a little line of storms. We have a deep pocket of 624. It's probably gonna show none. Yeah. Cannot rely on it alone. We go to energy helicity index. It's not going to be over exaggerated. It's going to show low numbers, but then again, low numbers do not determine. See, look, this is still significant for EHI standards. Even 4, anything above 4 is significant. But if we go into the 29th, you can see that it starts to like show up more in the Winnipeg region. So this is why I highlighted this area right here for the SVC for Sunday. And then, as it moves on throughout the day, we also have some other areas to focus on, like this is the 31st. Is there a 31st? No, the 30th. So this is the 30th at 8 p.m. for Winnipeg. We go into the next day. Another one again. This time it's gonna be way more potent. I would not suspect anything strong, but the model would probably change. It's gonna also impact the Winnipeg and Brand region. Brand's gonna get also a strong factor. We go CYBR. It's more likely gonna say anything above marginal tour. Yes, see, like marginal tour. Winnipeg CYWG is probably gonna show like simple tour, like no marginal tour. Marginal tour. Okay, I guess I was wrong there. And then look, as we can see, as the day progresses, another one will form at the border. Saskatchewan will get next, 7.6. This is probably going to be another tour case on the PSBL has type. And of course, there's other days too. So I feel like this is gonna be like a multi-day. Well, this is like GFS. So at the same time, it gets very inaccurate as it moves on. So I've highlighted my day 4. This is gonna become day 4. This is what I think that day 4 is gonna look like, and this is what the day 5 is gonna look like. Well, it's gonna become day 4. So yeah, you get what I mean. But yeah. So that's all I really wanted to cover. You can see CFS V2. You can see June 30th to July 7th. It's showing a broad area of red throughout the prairies. For week 3 too, it's showing it for the Winnipeg area. Week 1, it's going to be showing like a very weak area of supercells. I think that's really it. Oh wait, no, we have to cover why it's happening. Okay, so if we go here, you know what? Let's just do weather. Should we do weather front? Let's do weather front. App.weather front. Because I like this format a lot more better. ECMWF, yes. Let's do upper air. Okay, so we want to know why this is happening, okay? You can see as the day progresses on, we'll wait for the models to load up. And then, yeah, let's wait for the models to load up a bit. Okay, that should be good enough, okay. So if we go to Saturday, you can see a mid-level trough, like just tipping near the area. It'll hit, and then the next day, for 28th, you can see it kind of amplifies itself. Oh, this is a negative tilt trough too, so this is going to be pretty significant too. This is going to be pretty significant because we're going to be on the very edge of this. So yeah, this is highly plausible that the SPC may issue a 30% risk for the coming days. Now look, if we go to 850, this is where the low-level jet resides. This is what pushes humidity way into the, prairies. Acts like a little like push and pull. So yeah. We'll wait for it to load because we kind of went too far back. We kind of loaded up at the wrong time. Unless we can, okay, yeah, we can reach, okay. So this is what's going to be pumping moisture way up into the prairies during those days. Like, see, look. This will all carry moisture. This is what you can see. Like, look, if we do side by side, like, look, we go here, plot 2 model. Okay, yeah. Plot 1 model is 850 millibars. Okay, let's go here. Model ECMWF. We go to dew point. You can kind of see on how they go hand in hand, but we're gonna have to wait for it to load up. Which should take its time because both models take significantly longer times to load each other. So yeah, let's wait for it. There, let's see if the models move. Okay, yeah. So if we go all the way to the, okay, like you can see this line too. This is what's pumping moisture way up into here. Brand 64F, other factors. And as the day goes on, you can see it keeps bringing moisture. As the day moves on, though, it'll open up a little pocket. It's kind of incredible to see how these can go in hand for each other. Like, it's very crazy. And then that's what's pretty much causing all this humidity. Of course, it's going to be, even if storms don't form, it's going to be unbearably hot and humid. It's going to be very oppressive out there and muggy. So yeah, that should really be it. Not really much to consider about, I would say. But yeah, here's my maps for details too. You could kind of see, you can kind of see on how it's like changing up a bit. Because I want to highlight this area right here for severe weather as the day treks on. Now, will I guarantee? Now, okay, now, do I think that they'll issue a 30% risk? No, not really, because it is not really factoring. I would not really say if things will form. They might, because it's still like, I would say not far out, but it's like far enough to say where it could be at. So yeah. So this is my maps, So this is where I'm mostly confident. This is the day I'm mostly confident as it's showing a much more broader area. Brandon may not even get it. Winnipeg might get most of the trouble. Day 4, Brandon might get most of it. So yeah. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center meteorologists have to say about this. Day 5 might be day 5 is gonna become day 4 and they might highlight my area for where it is. You can compare it side by side, day 5. Or you can just check it right here. Like look. This is the day 5, and this is where I think the new day 5 is gonna be, or it becomes day 4. This is what day 6 is gonna become on day 5 for this little highlight area right here. So yeah, I would not be like highly plausible to think that it will happen, the upgrade. They might stick to a 15% risk, but as the day comes, they might actually change it to a enhanced risk as it starts off on day 4 and 5. Well, when both days become when both days become day 3, there's probably going to be like a high chance it's going to be either slight or else enhanced risks. So yeah, that's mostly going to be it for today. I don't want to get too in depth, as I fumbled the first stream because my mic messed up a bit. So yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. So peace out, everyone.